The conditions which are attached to Hamas's response to the peace proposal, Blinken says it's in Hamas's hands. Only Hamas stands in the way of progress. The conditions an unnamed Israeli official say amount to a rejection of the peace proposal. That is, Hamas has said that the peace proposal is acceptable as long as the ceasefire means a full withdrawal and a full ceasefire. That's on the cards, but only after a temporary ceasefire, a temporary truce, has been established. Blinken is on his way back to Qatar at a time when the United Nations has now concluded that in the first 3 months of the war in Gaza, both Hamas and Israel have committed war crimes. Now, Hamas's charter, which was established in 1988, calls for the destruction of Israel and the establishment of an Islamic State in its place. So unless Hamas pulls away from its charter, then everything has to be seen within the context of that charter, that Hamas, like Iran, wants the eradication of Israel. Hamas has historically rejected key peace agreements, including the Oslo Accords, which were accepted by the Palestinian Authority, and the consistent rejection of internationally backed peace frameworks indicates, again, a lack of commitment to genuine peace. I was going to say a lack of commitment to the two-state solution, but I think that lack of commitment is also shared by the present Israeli leadership. In addition, the continued involvement of military rocket attacks, tunnel building, other forms of violence by Hamas against the Israeli citizens, the continued holding of hostages, is evidence that Hamas prioritizes its resistance over any form of diplomatic resolution. And the statements from the Hamas leaders can be taken to reinforce their hardline stance. For example, they periodically reiterated their refusal to recognize Israel's right to exist, and that should be a condition. At that point, I think a two-state solution is the only way forward, but that means Hamas must recognize Israel, Israel must recognize Gaza and Palestine as one united single state. And then it's up to Gaza and Palestine to establish who rules that single state. There can't be two different organizations ruling one state. It's a two-state solution, not a three-state solution. And I'm afraid the Israeli leadership, Netanyahu, has done more to recruit for Hamas than perhaps Hamas has done itself in the last 10, 15 years. The political divisions between Hamas and the Fatah-led Palestinian Authority in the West Bank complicate any progress towards peace. And Hamas's rivalry with the Palestinian Authority, which is more open to negotiating with Israel, undermines the prospects of a serious unified Palestinian acceptance of peace proposals. In addition, Hamas's relationship with Iran, the Satan of the region, which opposes Israel, also influences its stance on peace proposal, also compromises the language which is being used. The alliances support and reinforce Hamas's extreme position, and supporting the people of Gaza, condemning the attacks on civilians in Gaza is certainly not to exonerate Hamas for the October the 7th attack, or indeed for their continued military engagement.